are doing late summer Qigong. As we are in late summer, this framework of 5 elements is one of the main way of doing Qigong. And sometimes different teachers will do different ways, but I like to include a lot of references to 5 elements. And we'll focus, let's say, there are many elements of 5 elements that can be discussed and incorporated into the practice and used as a team. And today we're gonna work with like mental, emotional stuff. And as we do that, I would just invite you to become aware of the body with the breath. Because we are working with the body. Body is considered as the earth. Late summer or earth element is the time that we are working on. And to do that with the breath, take one kind of nice breath. So just taking an in-breath, and then we're going to hold the breath in and then release, just to bring more awareness to the breath that's already happening. So we can just do it together. So taking a breath in. Hold it for a moment and slowly release through the mouth if you like. And then do that one more time. Hold again and exhale. Let's do one last time, inhaling. And exhale. And kind of quickly, curiously, like check, is there any change? Just 1 or 3 breaths, holding the breath and then releasing. So today there is a bit of a rain in the area where I am based. And rainy days are really good times for some reflection. That's why I thought about covering the mental, emotional aspects of the earth element in Chinese medicine perspective. So as I was saying earlier, this time is like transitioning. We talked about these in previous classes quite a lot. So we're changing from the long, bright summer days to darker, shorter kind of days of the fall. And so the invitation is to definitely notice this change. I kind of keep track of things almost like every day in the morning. I would just go out, take a look, like what is here, what is happening today, what has changed or what has not changed. And then we come back to this moment again and again. So there is some change happening, but at the same time, we have the capacity to be present with what is by connecting with the body. So we recognize what's happening in the body, sensations, breath, or mental, emotional stuff as well. So this connection with the body and considering it as like the home base, which is the case, the earth body. So I would invite you to kind of keep those in mind as we are working with this, with a sense of curiosity. Mentally, emotionally, one other aspect, the emotion that comes or that could affect worst this element, let's say, is worry. And we tend to overthink and then worry quite a lot. When I notice myself like, oh my God, I'm lost again in thinking, I remind myself this saying by Mark Twain. I know many people like it when I bring this up. He said something like, I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. When you hear something like that, does it like, oh my God, I've been doing this all the time? So I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. So the way that then I would kind of move into after that quote is, so every moment is just so precious. Despite there is transition, despite like the impermanence is so obvious to our kind of face, the practice is to become aware, to bring ourselves to this body, and then almost like honor this present moment as a present, almost like a gift. So with that, I'm going to move back and then we'll start some movements. So as we change the position, taking a moment to recognize where we are, what's the position of the body right now. So notice ourselves standing. By the way, if you want to do this seated on your chair or so, completely fine by me. Just the only thing that I would really recommend each and every one of you to do is pay attention to what's happening with your body and then maybe adjust, modify, or simply don't do some of the movements if they don't kind of feel right for you. So taking a moment to become aware of the standing position, connected with the earth underneath. The stance is about like shoulder width apart, feet parallel. They're not turning out or randomly kind of standing. Intentionally bringing them parallel to each other. So they're almost a little pigeon-toed. So the sides, outer edges are parallel. Toes are spreading wide. So feeling the sense of good grounding with the feet. Knees are slightly bent. Tailbone gently tucked under. Pubic bone is lifting. Arms around the sides. If you like, you can bring them to face down towards the earth, parallel. So from the side, a little bit of tailbone tucking. Chin is gently kind of tilted, so neck is reaching a little bit back. You can imagine also like a string at the top of the head, kind of lifting the head. Feel your long spine. And now bring the attention to your feet. Imagine you have roots going down, growing down towards the earth. And feel the body here in this moment, savoring literally like this precious moment. We know it's going to be gone very soon. Just the next moment, there's not going to be any more this like 10:07 anymore Eastern time. So just taking a moment to recognize and almost like honor this, present of this moment, sensing the body, sensing the breath, and then sensing the energy almost like in your hands. You can also imagine like the hands are connecting with the earth in addition to the roots growing down through the feet. And then above, kind of feel, sense a whole space around us. And then the sky, so earth underneath, sky above, and us human beings in between. This universe, this precious life. Just breathing and aligning ourselves with this kind of earth's steady energy, stabilizing things just a little bit before we start moving. In a way, working with the yin aspect of the energy. There's a lot of this, like Chinese medicine, the main kind of framework is yin and yang and the balance in between. So yin is more receptive, slow, and nourishing, like we're doing right now. And then when we start moving, some hardcore moves even, it's going to be more like yang and active. So just take a moment to nourish yourself by just this presence. And for some of you, this may feel like, oh my God, why aren't we moving? Just notice that urge too. Maybe you are kind of living in too much yang space and you don't have enough yin. So allow yourself to relax and just enjoy this moment one more time as we feel this connection or deepening the connection with the earth. And let's do the same breath that we did earlier, again 3 more times, inhaling and holding the breath. And then slowly release. 2 more times, inhaling. Holding and exhaling. One last time. And hold and release. Let's start moving. We're going to start with this lymphatic drainage massage. So I'm starting with my left side. So you're not seeing me like mirroring base. So do your left side. And I'm tapping and kind of scrubbing almost like this area above and below the collarbone. This is good to activate every day, daily. This lymphatic drainage massage can be really good. It really helps with the better functioning of immune system. And then move to the other side. And the fluid circulation in the body, as the lymph is kind of the white fluids in the body in a way compared to the blood. A little bit of tapping. And then move to the area, again, in front and then the back of the ear. And I'm making like a V sign with the hand, the fingers. And then from like in front and the back of the ears. And then moving it down. So activating the lymph. You can also have a little bit of this. There are some lymph nodes here too. So all these areas that we are doing this movement have a bit more concentration of the lymph nodes. So it helps with the lymphatic system to flow better. Now moving on to the armpits. This doesn't matter, right side, left side. So you can now do the side that I'm doing. And I'm kind of tapping to this corner with this side of my hand. And then do the other side. And then a little bit of the elbows. You can do a little bit like movement or tap, tap, tap. And then the other side. You can do this in like almost like 5 minutes or maybe longer if you want to do anything. You can be doing it longer. It can be super helpful. There's like a ton of videos on YouTube in terms of how to do, what to do on this lymphatic drainage. Now tapping above and below. And then to the sides of the abdomen. We're working with the belly button as you can kind of imagine. And maybe do like a bit of a circular tapping. And then do the reverse a couple of times. And now go to the groins. So like here is the hip crease and you are doing like a little bit above, a little bit below. Again, a bunch of lymphatic nodes in these areas, which is going to help with these tapping to move around. And then the last area is behind the knees. So just tap a little bit more. And then come back to center. And then we're going to do heel lift. So lifting and dropping. And you can have your hands like that when we lift the heels. This can be sometimes like a way to do it with a bit more fun. So starting like that, lifting the heels and then dropping the hands. The hand is completely optional, you don't have to. But see my heels lifting and dropping. This is to really engage the fluids in the body because we are 70% water. Although as we age, we tend to lose that. So do that just a few more times. You can do it faster if you like, or slower. And you can coordinate it with the breath. Inhale, exhale. It can be a little bit kind of faster breath. Let's do 2 more. Release, and then bring your hands onto the sides of the ribs now. And then feel the breath. Feel your diaphragm. That's the, or you can even bring your hands just a little under the actual ribs. That's going to be better to feel the diaphragm. And then feel the diaphragm expanding and contracting. And releasing. One of the other key areas for the lymphatic system is right around the diaphragm. So this kind of big, nice breaths. are helpful to activate that area too. And let's do one more. Big breath in and exhale. And before we transition, just take a moment to feel, is there a difference in the way you are sensing, you are kind of perceiving the body? Maybe you're feeling a little bit more tingling, a little bit more sensation, a little bit more awareness. Just checking. And then let's move on now to the joints and then the muscles. So we're going to start with moving both the shoulder joint and then the ankle. So I'm moving, as you can see, I'm making circles both at the same time. And if you want to play with this, feel when you are lifting the heel, feel your pressure, the pressure you're applying to the earth, and then imagine that energy from the earth is lifting all the way up to the shoulder. This is one of the advanced level Qigong stuff. When you really connect with the energy of the earth, you are pressing down. A lot of times, like barefoot walking on the earth is also great for that purpose. And then you are kind of grabbing that energy and then lifting it up. Let's do one each side. And then come back to center. And then we're going to move to the hips. Circling a few times. Your hands are on the waist area. And reverse the circle. We're doing an easier version. If you want to do kind of wider stance and go deeper, be my guest. Otherwise, nice and easy. And then come back to center and let's work with some tapping on the key points for the earth element for this time of the year. The internal organs are stomach, spleen, pancreas, and there's one point that can be helpful for like overall body energy circulation. We're tapping on the sides of the ribs on about like nipple line on each side. And sometimes you can do this tapping like that as well. So find a way to reach to the sides of the body. And then come back to a little bit of tapping of your low back, mid back. This is the door of life. Knocking on the door of lifestyle is so important for Qigong, as some of you would know. It's a key area that holds the vitality of the body. And then come to the midpoints of your hips. Good, nice fist hands, tapping, tapping, tapping to activate stuff. And then slowly we're going to come into a position where we're going to be leaning towards the ground, but make sure that you're not rounding your spine. Spine is straight on its natural curves, and the legs are straighter in a way. And then we're going to be lifting the toes. Your core is engaged here. Your toes are really kind of spread actively. Heels are pressing. Toes are spreading and opening wide. Legs are relatively straight. If you want to bend a little, it's okay. And then slowly bend the knees. Still make sure that the spine is long, elongated. You're not rounding unnecessarily. Bring your toes closer, so feet closer, and then do a couple of rounds of circles with the knee. So both knees, they are kind of pressing towards each other as you are making these circles. A couple of rounds like that. Feel every time you move to this side, you are pressing this knee to that knee, and then this one to the other one. So there is this isometric push of the knees towards each other. They're kind of pushing each other away, although you're trying to keep them together. If you haven't done it already, reverse the circle. It's quite kind of active. It's not just random, very actively kind of doing this movement with the knees. And then come back to center, staying again still in this position. This time you're going to be lifting the heels one at a time. Again, core is a little engaged here. You maintain a long spine. Back to the center, and then bend the knees. And we're going to be doing some tapping here. So you may need to bend your knees a lot. We're going to be tapping the front of the legs. Something like that. Come all the way. And then up to the groins. Still maintain a little bit of a squat position. This is where the pathway of the channels go. As we are activating. To release our worries, so that the patterns of habits maybe can be released more easily. And we are more aware of this moment with all these sensations. And then now, next time when you come to the center, let's say, slowly lift yourself up, coming in like a wave. Very gently, not like a big grounding or so. Almost even like the shoulders are also rotating a little bit. Like a wave, lifting yourself up. Down a little bit, maybe even with the chin, if you want to add a little bit of the neck as well. Coming up. Let's do one last time. Wave or serpent, some people would call it, as we are moving like a snake, a little bit. Now coming into a wider stance. And for this one, we're going to work again with this area that we tapped a little earlier, moving side to side. Bending and straightening the legs. Your feet are a little bit open out to the side. Make sure that when you have the knee bent, knees and toes are aligned. So you're not putting extra stress on your knees. And if this doesn't feel comfortable or so, just stay upright and maybe do this version. But otherwise, moving maybe a little deeper. If it feels comfortable for you, it doesn't have to be the same for like me or for anybody else. Maybe adding on a little bit of a challenge if you open the hands out to the sides. So it becomes some leg work. And we really activate all the leg muscles. Our legs are long and they have really big muscles, which could be used for these kind of things. And then come back. Knees are still soft or bent a little bit. And then let's do a little bit of swimming dragon. Legs will continue with the same thing, but we are adding the hands as they press each other. We are pushing to one side. So knee and hand push goes towards the same side, while the head is turning to the opposite direction. So we're stretching a little bit of the shoulder, neck, legs are working, as you can kind of tell. And hands are active. You're kind of trying to push them away. So it becomes quite a workout in a way. And then the weight is also shifting a little bit towards the bent knee side. It's not like 90% or so, but you'll see a little bit of more engagement, let's say, on the legs to the side that we are bending the knee. And then back. Let's do one more time each side. And then the other side. And then slowly, as you come back to the center, just stay here. And then start to bring your feet, heel toe, bring them close to each other. Again, still maintain this shoulder width apart. And now we're going to do like a whole body tapping. So starting with one side, going with the inner part, this is the lower part of the arm, going downwards towards the hand. That's the direction the meridians are flowing. That's why we are doing inner part, lower part of the arm downward, upper part upward towards the head. Come all the way up. Let's do one more time. We typically try to do this kind of a tapping about 3 times. It can be done more than that too. And then come back slowly to the other arm. Just keep doing that. Try to cover every point in the arm. And then the last time for this side. Full round. And then coming back through the center line. And I'm not exactly in the center, by the way. I'm about like 2 finger width outside on the sides of the midline. That's where the meridians go for this season. Earth element stuff. Go all the way. Make a little bit of a circle. And then now we're going to start tapping on the legs. Maybe, again, taking a few moments with the back, low back area. Knocking on the door of life. And then now, keep your knees deeply bent if you need to. Tapping on the back, tapping, slapping on the back of the legs. And then now to the front of the legs. Coming all the way. We'll do one more time, the back. And then the front. And now we'll go through the sides of the legs. So outer legs. And then the inner legs. Maybe circle around the abdomen. There are these acupuncture channels, meridians, on the sides, on the inner legs, on the outer legs, on the back. So that's why we're doing all of those. Let's do front and back one more time. And just the back, behind the legs, tapping, slapping. And then the front. Tap, 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 tap. And then come all the way around the abdomen. And circle. 1 or 2 times, either direction. Maybe 3 times each side. Can be just kind of a way to do it. And then come into a pause completely. Have the hands again facing down. Stance is the same as we did at the beginning of the class. Allow your eyes to close. And feel what you feel. With a sense of curiosity, check this energy. Check your sense of really your perception of the body. Check the connection with the earth. And maybe you may sense like a much deeper connection with the earth. And you may even feel yourself kind of steadier compared to we did something similar earlier. Even though there's a lot of activity, many things happening in the body, internally. Sense a deep stillness, almost like that results from just being aware of this moment, this body. There could be some pain, or there could be maybe mind thinking here and there. It's okay. Just right now, the task at hand is to become aware of the connection with the earth, with the feet and the hands. This amazing tingling sensations probably you might be feeling in your hands. That's how we do our Qigong. Gonging our Qi. Gong means like mastery, harnessing, developing awareness. So feeling everything as is, without adding anything additional. And notice how we generated this, like feel this sense of like, oh my God, yes, I can do this, right? We all can do. We have this amazing internal power that we can generate or tap into. And slowly release. Open your eyes if they were closed. If you happen to do any balance testing, which we did recently for an occasion, when you close your eyes, you feel so unstable. Things get so wobbly, and for some people it's impossible to do anything when their eyes closed. But you may have noticed at least I was, when my eyes were closed in this position, I was not wobbly at all. I just could feel this deep kind of roots growing down, thanks to the steadiness or connecting with the steadiness of the earth. And then let's continue with this time separating heaven and earth. So your hands meet in the somewhere around the chest, and you're separating them away from each other as you press the palms away. And try to keep the palm as kind of parallel to like the lower hand in a way as they're separating. And then meeting at the center. And then push them away. A couple of more like that. We are working with stretching, especially the side body. And slowly add a head turn. You are gazing towards the side of the lower hand. Back to the center. And then to the other side. Let's do one more to the other side, and then we're going to add a little bit of like a rotation, a bit more like twisting. And this time, bring the hands out to the sides, and then one hand is going to go behind the head, the other one is going to go behind on your low back, and you're going to turn again to the side of the lower hand, and then open. Turn to the opposite side. Your knees are not turning, by the way. So they are still facing towards the front. You're making the rotation only in the upper body. Just make sure that you have control of your knees. They're not doing anything random. The movement is more like focusing on the spinal rotation, gentle rotation. It's not like huge turn, very gentle. You can imagine between your knees also like there's like a big ball, exercise ball type of a thing in between. So you're not rounding them or turning them. They're not kind of coming in. So just keep them stable. Let's do one more each side. And then to the other side. Release. Keep the hands open out to the side. If you want to take a break, please be my guest. But otherwise, turn the palms to face up. And your stance can be slightly wider. And now as we lift the arms up, imagine there's like a rainbow in between the two hands. And you are moving that rainbow to one side as you come into a bent knee, which we did something similar earlier. So the weight is shifting a little on this side while we try to keep the arms on the other side. So it can be good leg work and then good arm work, as you can also kind of start to feel the shoulders. Take a break anytime if this feels kind of too much for your shoulders, please. I trust you'll take good care of yourself. Going slowly, feeling the transitions. Big, nice opening. Dancing with the rainbow, as they call this one. One more time each side. And then slowly open the arms out. Just feel the sensations and oh my God, maybe sensations in your shoulders. And then slowly release everything. Bring your feet closer to shoulder width apart. Have your hands face down and take 1 or 2 breaths here again. Let things to self-regulate. Maybe heartbeat got faster. Moving on. Now bring the hands to interlace at the beginning and at the like in front of the abdomen. And then take the hands upwards and then around the face or so start to turn them away from you like that. And then we're going to come into a rotation. If possible, keeping the hands interlaced like that above the head and turning one way back to center and then turning the other way. If for any reason your hands, shoulders say, no way, I'm not going to do that, do your best to keep your hands above the head and then turn like that and then turn to the other side. And then at the end, before we release everything, we're going to come into like lift the heels and then release everything down. So I'm going to continue with hands interlaced version, but please adjust if you need to stay the arms open. And if for any reason shoulders are so tight, there's no way to do that. Imagine you are just doing it here and turning like that. So you decide whichever one will work best for you. So inhaling all the way. Hands turn, we're still inhaling. And then exhaling. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling. Inhaling back to center. And if you want to add on the heel lift, inhale here. Hold the breath in. And then as you exhale, release the heels, release the hands all the way down. And just take a moment to feel all the, again, shift in the energies. Maybe you may even be feeling things around your head because we are lifting up the energy, kind of swirling, twisting, and then bringing it down. Let's do this one more time. So hands interlace, inhaling, lifting up all the way, hands, palms turn, up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center, inhale. Start to lift the heels, hands push. Release the heels, slowly exhale. And take a moment to settle. Again, just feel this body in this moment. And as we move on to another wide stance with the legs position, take a moment to activate the midpoint in your palms for a moment. So I'm tapping, like hands, fingers curled in, tapping the midpoint of both hands at the same time. You can see, I guess. And then switch to the other side. We're going to be pushing the hands, like push hands like the mountains. There are variations of this movement in Qigong. That's why we're opening these points in the hands to be able to release, because this move is about like purifying our space. External, around us, internal, because we have a lot going on inside with all this thinking stuff. And then just feel your hands, bring them at the center. And as we start to move, inhale here while the hands are in the middle. And then exhaling, pushing the hands out. Creating your space, knees bent if you like to. And then inhale back to center. Next time we're pushing to the front. Imagine you have like arms at the back, you're pushing the back also. Creating space, back to center. Up to the sky again, knees bent if you like. Purifying and creating space. And then This one is completely internal, cutting the cord with complexity, as they say it. So all inner stuff. This one is maybe, we continue maybe 2 more rounds of the same moves. This is to be able to say, no, my dear, I'm not going to be able to do that for you today. I've been doing this for the last 30 years, but not today. And then push the hands to the front. This is my personal territory. Sorry, no one can come in. This is my me time. And I deserve that. And then this is all the stuff that's kind of the world is throwing on us. We don't need to take everything because it's sometimes really not possible to digest. And then now pushing it down to our precious self. Oh, my dear, no, I'm not going to be thinking the same stuff again. I can maybe try something different. So let's do it one last time. Pushing the hands out, purifying the space, creating space for more our heart, our mind, to feel really the preciousness of each and every moment. It's really sacred. And then down. And slowly, when you come up, change the position of your feet a bit more parallel this time. Hands at the chest, and just take a moment to feel, connect with this moment. Eyes closed if you like. And monitoring with a sense of curiosity again. How are things right now? How is your relationship with your energy? How's the mind doing? Without judging, it may still be like God knows where, past, future, it's okay. This is the nature of things. And then slowly, we're going to be, maybe bring your feet actually just a little bit closer towards each other. And then this pebble and the pound. So hands are around the solar plexus. So to almost like store all these energies that we are creating, this area is left side mostly is the area where the internal organs corresponding to this element are. So we are releasing and then gathering the earth energy to be stored in the like midline, almost like of the body. I'm gonna just show this from the side. So hands, palms facing down, hips glide back, hands reach forward, and then you make a circle with the hands, and then now the hands turn sideways as you gather the energy and then bring it to this kind of the midline area. And we exhale when we push the hands, and then inhale, gather, legs get straighter. Make sure that the knees are not, when you bend, they're not bending too much in front of the toes, please. So reaching forward as you exhale, hips glide back, inhaling, gathering. Spine is elongated all through. We're not rounding the spine. A couple of more like that. Make it almost like a meditation in motion. Three more. Sensing this connection with the breath also as we do it slow. Inhaling, filling it in. One last time. And bring the hands here. This time bring the hands in front of the lower abdomen, the dantian, lower dantian area. Have them face each other. And your feet can come slightly closer. Again, they don't have to be that close. But start to make good, nice centering circles. That's the hand is moving through the central channel. Inhaling and exhaling. Big, nice circles each side. Sensing like the quality of presence right now compared to the beginning of the class. Let's do one more each side. And then the other side. And now hold your hand somewhere like in front, one hand in front of the heart, kind of facing sideways. The other one is around the abdomen. So just holding ourselves in this position for a few breaths. This is in a way like a standing meditation. And also this is called like a mudra, the hand gesture for this earth element. Inviting us to be centered, to be aware of this body, this center right around the heart, and see our hand is not up in the head, so we're not in the like thinking mind, more around the heart and almost like the center of the body. So the invitation is to feel the torso, this amazing, exquisite creation of our super intelligent body. It knows everything. You know, it really knows how to breathe, how to digest, how to do many things. Sometimes things get misaligned. So we're bringing everything like, come, just stay here. And now changing the position, open the hands out to the sides and move to the other side. So the other hand comes to the same position and then we're kind of shifting this hand also at the center. Again, taking a few moments to breathe, connect. Your knees are soft here, by the way. We're still in this kind of one of those power postures of Qigong. Knees are soft, tailbone tucked under. Let's do one more round each side. Change the hands again, open them a little bit. Move every almost like a slight move that happens. Know where the hands are. Your connection, the position of the hands, they are kind of different from each other. Notice that. Having the connection with all the different parts of the hands, keeping the nerves active. Just simple awareness of every part, every finger maybe. Change, move to the other side. We do this slowly. Technically, we're supposed to take about like 5 to 10 breaths in between. I'm not exactly doing that, but if you have more time, please do so. Let's do 5 breaths in this one. Noticing the in-breath and then the out-breath. Notice how it is changing. Relax the shoulders. The change is there, constantly happening. And you're taking the time to notice each breath. Slowly release. Just go back to the position. This is another version of Earth Mudra. The way your feet are touching, connected to the earth. Even though I'm in an apartment and you are probably too, imagine you have the soil, earth underneath right now. And your roots are growing deep, full, kind of strong sense of connection with the earth. Imagine you are gathering this steady strength or this sense of kind of calm that comes from the ground or from touching to the ground. And notice the head thinking, there could be stuff going on, it's okay. Don't judge yourself, no need. We're all like that. Mind is connected with the earth and it tends to go anywhere and everywhere, and time travels, past and future. Feel the breath. Notice your whole body expanding and contracting with the breath. And with the hands also, this could be an additional tool to feel the connection with the earth. And imagine you have this midpoints of your palms now connecting with the earth too. You can also imagine there are like big energy balls under your hands. You are breathing in, breathing out. Adding a little bit of one of the classical forms of meditation and Qigong here. When you breathe in, imagine you are taking in the earth energy from the back of the body, rising up all the way to the head, and when you exhale, you bring it through the front line of the body, through the hands, all the way down. So you're making like a circle with the breath. Inhaling from the back, exhaling from the front. Macrocosmic orbit, they would call this one. So you are breathing with intention of creating or strengthening your energy space or your aura as you are really taking in from the earth, down under, taking it into our own earth body. As we do that, one other way maybe to feel the energy that we have inside and then the outside, and notice how we are connected, how our cells are almost like pores. Every time we take in the energy from outside, and then the energy inside goes out so that it's recycled. I am in Qi. Qi is in me, as we like to think of in Qigong. And very slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Bring the hands into the abdomen as we come to the end of the practice. Let the webs of the index and the thumb cross. Do a few circles. And feel the sense of being in the home base in this precious body. Couple of rounds. I'll try to do about like 9 one way, circling to store the energy inside in this lower dantian, the elixir field or savings bank account. I hope this is 9. I didn't count exactly, but now reverse the direction, so another 9. And hold the hands here, again on the dantian, almost like push them a little bit inside so you're really putting it in. Take one big breath, hold and exhale. 2 more. Inhale and hold. Exhale. Last one, inhaling and holding. And for the last one, exhale, open your eyes. Thank you.